are glad at the outcome of this court, where the court has put it abundantly clear that they will not issue a second order to stop the elections because there is already a subsisting order that said the election should not go on. And there's been an acknowledgement that in any event, whatever will go on will be an illegality if at all ECZ chooses to go ahead. But what the court has made abundantly clear is that in line with the Constitutional Court judgment, where they said there is a stay of elections in the High Court, they also agree that there is a stay in the High Court and no other order will be issued to stay the elections because there's already one subsisting, meaning that everything that is going on in Kabushi is an illegality. The state as well as ECZ are the impunity before the court, and we will go ahead and argue this matter next week Friday. Whatever the outcome of tomorrow's election will be a nullity, and we'll challenge it, we'll not leave it to them, because even the courts have acknowledged that their orders are being disobeyed with impunity, and that would not be the case.
And I think earlier on, there was a question as to why we have come when they have said they are not coming. I think we all know that the courts are not playgrounds where you decide whether to come on your own or not. This appeal was brought to this court by the Attorney General's chambers and ECZ themselves. They dragged Bowman Lusambo and Malanje here. So if they are going to stay away from these proceedings, that does not stop us from coming to represent Bowman and Honorable Malanje. And one interesting thing that has come out of today's hearing is that the court has said that as far as the court is concerned, the High Court stay that stayed the elections is still in force and valid. Number two, they've refused, they cannot give us another stay. Why should they give us another stay of the elections when the elections already stayed by the High Court? And number three, whether they go ahead with the elections tomorrow or not does not affect the proceedings in the High Court and here, because it raises the question of illegality. And may I have in mind the case of Ngosa Simbiakola and 66 others. So any money ECZ is going to spend on this election, Hakainde Ichilema, Minister of Justice Haimbe, those three commissioners must refund the people of Zambia. There's a judgment of the court. So any money they're going to spend in this election will be personally refunded back to the people of Zambia. There's a judgment in the Simbiakola case. But it's good that the courts have actually washed their hands. The ECZ and the Attorney General are now on their own. This court has not allowed them to hold the election. So if they're going to hold the illegal election, the law will take its course.
Let down the majority judgment. I did indicate that we shall live to fight another day. It is quite clear to us in the Patriotic Front that Hakainde Hichilema wishes to suspend the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. You will recall that even after the High Court stayed the elections, Hakainde Hichilema proceeded and stayed in Copperbelt, in Kitwe, and in Ndola for 5 days, campaigning against the decision of the High Court. Obviously, the intention of Attorney General, by writing the letter to the Chief Justice to adjourn all matters in which the Attorney General had an interest, was purely to try and meet Hakainde's wish that the election tomorrow must continue, because he was hoping that the court here would not say a word on that matter. But we have said before that there are still men and women in this country who are willing to defend the Constitution. And this court has demonstrated that they indeed are going to stand up to defend the Constitution. They have made it very clear that the stay of the election handed out by the High Court is in effect, is in force. My advice to Hakainde Hichilema is, please come back to Lusaka, come back to State House. There is much more work